Thus saith the Lord God, I will also destroy the idols. This is the third prophecy against Egypt. I will destroy the idols, and I will cause their images to cease out of Noph, N-O-P-H. Noph, it's part of Egypt, and it's Memphis. And of course, Memphis is close to the Great Pyramids. In fact, it's like right next door to the Great Pyramids in Egypt. And so that's Noph. And destroy the idols. Just a minute. Oh, yeah. And I will cause their images to cease out of Noph. So, and in later years, okay, especially after some of the, if you will, exuberant Christian leaders came into power, they sent people into, Egypt and Babylon. They sent people out to actually destroy a lot of the idol worshiping, like the Egyptian temples, the Greek temples. There were, Greek temples, Roman temples, were all, they didn't have any sense of history. They went out and destroyed stuff. And like today, ISIS, or, the Islamic State, whatever it is, the Islamic State, they go out, they're Muslim radicals, terrorists, and today they are going out, and Al-Qaeda and ISIS and all of those radical Muslim, they're going out and destroying a lot of the archaeological sites. And not only destroying them, but in the process, looting them, taking all of the, let's destroy this archaeological site. Let's of these heathen gods that don't believe in Islam or Muhammad. Let's go ahead, but let's gather up all of the goodies, the relics, the stuff that they can sell to make money. Let's destroy them, but let's figure that one out. What's wrong with that picture? So anyway, cause their images to cease out of Noph or Memphis, and there shall be no more a prince of the land of Egypt. Okay, and I will put a fear in the land of Egypt, and they will be, God is doing this. He is actually with the invasion, Nebuchadnezzar moving in and taking over and building his empire. Egypt will have a fear that they're next. That's the idea here. Their pharaohs would lose power. They still had pharaohs clear up through, Greek and Roman times, but they were never as powerful as they were. And I will make Pathros desolate. Now I not sure where Pathros is, because I couldn't find Pathros in this book. Okay? But wherever Pathros is, it's going to be desolate. It's in Egypt, and will set fire in Zoan. Okay? And let's see, Memphis is about halfway down, if you will, in Egypt. Like I said, where the pyramids are, and where am I here? Set fire in Zoan. Zoan is also known as Tanis, And Tanis is way up north in the lower kingdom. Again, north is the lower kingdom, south is the upper kingdom. Tanis is way up north, and it's in the Nile Delta region, close to the Mediterranean Sea. So is where Zoan is, and Tanis. Zoan, Tanis, same place, and will execute judgments in No. Okay. Oh, where is No? No is actually Thebes, or also known as Diospolis or Thebes, and that's No. Okay, and will execute judgments in No, and I will pour my fury upon sin. But it is a place there in Egypt somewhere, and I pour my fury upon sin, the strength of Egypt, and I will cut off the multitude of No. And so Thebes, we've got Memphis, Tanis, Thebes, and I will set fire in Egypt. Sin shall have great pain, and No, Thebes, will be rent asunder, and Noph shall have distresses daily. Okay. The young men of Avon, Pi-Beseth, shall fall by the sword, and these cities shall go into captivity. Avon and On are apparently the same place, and it's also known as Heliopolis. Okay. So we've got, all these different names, and a lot of them refer to the same place. Okay. Young men of Avon, Heliopolis, or On, and of Pi-Beseth shall fall by the... Pi-Beseth is also known as Herodotus, the historian, knew it as Bubastis. Okay? And Bubastis is up there, again, in the north of Egypt, in the Nile Delta area. On is up there, Bubastis, all the Tanis, and up there also is Sais, and Pelusium is up there also. Pelusium is over on the Sinai Peninsula, across, it would be across today it would be across the Suez Canal from Egypt on the Sinai Peninsula. It's where Pelusium is. Pelusium gets mentioned, but Pi-Beseth is there, falling by the sword, all of these towns, and I guess Bubastis or Pi-Beseth is today modern-day Tel Basta. Yeah, you've been there. You know where it is, right? You've got all these little towns memorized from social studies, geography classes where social studies. Everybody had to memorize the capitals of all the states, right? And everybody can remember all of those capitals, and everybody can remember all those Egyptian towns there from their social studies, geography. We've got all these, verse 15, fury upon sin, the strength of Egypt, cut off the multitude of No, set fire in Egypt, sin shall have great pain, No shall be rent asunder, and Noph shall have distresses daily. Young men of Avon and Pi-Beseth shall fall by the sword, and these cities shall go into captivity at, here's Tehafneh Tehaphnehes. Yeah. And don't know, now this one isn't on any of this map here. So wherever it is, also the day shall be darkened when I shall break there the yokes of Egypt, and the pomp of her strength shall cease in her. Okay? And this is why Egypt will have fear in the land of Egypt, because of all of this. And again, we don't know, did any of the pharaohs or the Pharaoh of Egypt at the time, did he even hear or know of these prophecies of Ezekiel? Did word of these prophecies ever get to these pharaohs? We don't know. No, we would think somehow it might have, but we don't know for sure because it doesn't really say in the Bible. Okay, so break the yokes, pomp of her strength shall cease in her. As for her, a cloud shall cover her, and her daughters. Again, this referring to a nation as her. Israel is also referred to as her. Jerusalem and her daughters. Okay? Her daughters shall go into captivity. Okay? Thus will I execute judgments in Egypt, and they shall know that I am the Lord. We come down to verse 20. And it came to pass in the 11th year, now this is the fourth prophecy against Egypt, and actually these prophecies are not really in chronological order here, because this prophecy, it's suggested that it was spoken 3 months before the capture of Jerusalem. Okay, so that would be the thing about putting fear in the land of Egypt. Okay? Jerusalem is 3 months away when Ezekiel makes these prophecies here before chapter 20 or verse 20. Jerusalem was on the verge of being captured. Okay? The siege was getting really close to ending. And Nebuchadnezzar and his army, well, he wouldn't have been there personally, but his general, whoever was in charge, would have been there. So 3 months before the capture of Jerusalem, and 3 months after the prophecy of chapter 29. So here in verse 20, we've got 3 months before capture of Jerusalem, 3 months after the prophecies in chapter 29. So, meantime, so we've got verse 20, Son of man, and it came to pass in the 11th year, in the first month, in the 7th day of the month, that the word of the Lord came unto me, saying, Ezekiel got specific here of when he heard these when God gave him these prophecies. And I'm sure, a lot of times, a lot of the prophets in the Old Testament probably could have pinpointed, they didn't mention them a lot of times, but they could have pinpointed the day and the date, what year it was that they received these prophecies. And so here it is, 11th year of assuming of the captivity, first month, 7th day of the month, word of the Lord came unto me, saying, So, Son of man, I have broken the arm of Pharaoh, king of Egypt. And this actually is referring to the battle of Carchemish, when Nebuchadnezzar was actually on his way to Egypt. Okay? This is kind of referring back, this broken the arm of Pharaoh. This is referring back to that date, 605 BC, and that's when Jerusalem was in the way and was collateral damage because he was going for Egypt. So and lo, it shall not be bound up to be healed. You break your arm, and if you don't get it bound up and set, it won't heal. Well, that's what happened here with Pharaoh, king of Egypt. And lo, it shall not be bound, to put a roller to bind it, to make it strong to hold the sword. Okay? So he was, Egypt was defeated in that battle. And therefore, thus saith the Lord God, behold, I am against Pharaoh, king of Egypt, and will break his arms. He's going to be defeated, the strong and that which was broken, and I will cause the sword to fall out of his hand. He won't be able to hold a sword. And I will scatter the Egyptians among the nations, and will disperse them through the countries. This is what is happening to Egypt. I will strengthen the arms of the king of Babylon, and put my sword in his hand. Okay? God is saying he's going to put his sword in the hands of Nebuchadnezzar, king of Babylon, and passing judgment on Egypt. He's also passing judgment on Israel. God is using a heathen, idol-worshiping king, Nebuchadnezzar, okay, to pass judgment on Israel and anybody who opposed Israel. That's the whole idea. And put a sword in his hand, but I will break Pharaoh's arms, and he shall groan before him with the groanings of a deadly wounded man. This is how bad it's going to be. But I will strengthen the arms of the king of Babylon, and the arms of Pharaoh shall fall down, and they shall know that I am the Lord. And eventually, Nebuchadnezzar did come to know that he is the Lord. When I shall put my sword into the hand of the king of Babylon, and he shall stretch it out upon the land of Egypt. And I will scatter the Egyptians among the nations, and disperse them among the countries, and they shall know that I am the Lord.